What's up?
I love you.
1, 2, 3.
What's up?
So we're gonna answer some questions for you, and you, and you, and you, but mostly you.
We're gonna answer the best that we can from the experiences that we have had.
Truth.
Dang, I messed up. I read the wrong one.
This is why it never takes 5 minutes. A mess.
I think it was a mess because of lack of support and things like that. Not everybody knowing how to handle us becoming more than friends, and I think a lot was taken into account how other people felt, which is good, but ultimately hindered ourselves from initially taking that step and just doing it, because I think we were so worried about what everybody else thought and kind of put our own feelings to the side. Definitely. So
Actually, it was very weird because we went from being like best friends, hanging out every day with our friend group and just literally hanging out, to actually recognizing we had feelings and telling each other we had feelings for each other. And so it was pretty weird, mostly just because I didn't know how to act or feel personally. I was like, oh my gosh, like this is actually happening and I like him, and now we get to like express that. And it was a weird transition, but over time we kind of became more just like used to it, and it was okay. And you know, like
definitely worth it.
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
worth it.
I don't know, it was awesome, but it was a struggle at first.
You gonna be real?
Yes.
I'm gonna be real.
Okay, yes, there is sexual temptation in the relationship, with any relationship.
I think I should answer that. I think I should start by saying that part, so it doesn't seem like you just run me and you're the only person. I think they're expecting me to have more sexual temptation because I'm a guy.
Okay, but that's not even like,
I feel
like
I know.
No, but a girl does have has a lot of sexual temptation. We just don't talk about it as openly as guys do most of the time.
But I think that's a society thing too. Like, you guys could do the same thing a guy would do, and what guys congratulated on, like high-fiving for, women are shunned upon or called certain things and like called out their name. You know what I mean?
Right, but I also think that, I don't know, I've always had a struggle with lust, and that has like started from a young age, and so that impacted our relationship. And for
definitely what we're both bringing into the relationship, we didn't come into this relationship virgins, and we've struggled with that on our own. So to come together, I think that was definitely something that we had to be aware of from the get-go. So there is sexual temptation there, and it's just, are you gonna tackle the problem head on, or are you gonna act as if it's not there? Are you gonna act like it's not gonna come up at some other time? So just being vigilant and aware, and wanting to choose the other person over like your fleshly desires, because that's exactly what it is. And it's not to say that choice should be easy, but like, temptation is something that's hard to combat against.
And I think just for us, like if you want practical things, we try to be very accountable to other people, like have mentors around us and have friends that will speak truth into our lives. Like I have someone that I call weekly, and if I'm struggling with something like that, then I know that I can talk to her about it. I know that I've had mentors, especially in the very beginning of our relationship. I had a lot of mentorship that was older than me, and now that I'm moved away from them, just making that switch to finding new mentors is so important. So mostly have a mentor, and then have a friend beside you that knows what the struggle is like, and then be able to talk to them about it. Because if I didn't have someone in my life that was my age, that had went through it and is maybe going through it, that I could just be real with, and that could hold me accountable with that, then I don't know like how I would even deal with my sexual temptation, as well as a mentor that's above me that can really hold me accountable, but isn't like a one-on-one type thing, but is more like just consistently investing in me. And also just making boundaries and consistently going back and redrawing circles around your boundaries, and knowing that there's grace for when you might mess up, and there is grace and love that the Lord gives us consistently, no matter what sin you're struggling with. But it's okay to struggle with something. Just like be mindful that there's a huge difference between struggling with a temptation and then indulging in a temptation. And we do not indulge in temptations, and we work so hard with the Lord and with ourselves and with our mentors and our accountability partners to really just be honest. Because I think that if you're not, then you can begin to indulge in temptations, and it's just not healthy at all.
Tell yourself that you're not in a place that you truly are struggling with, and like you said, with boundaries, constantly going back to those things and understanding there's a reason that we have these boundaries, and I'm choosing you and I'm choosing this relationship time and time again because of what he's called us to, and the promises that he does have for you in your relationships. But I think you just have to be vigilant.
Yeah,
and real with
definitely.
yourself.
So accountability, boundaries, mentorship, and then also being honest with your partner, whoever you're dating, on who you are and what you want from the relationship, and then also knowing that God's grace and his love and his guidance is perfect. I did not trust Emmanuel before I loved him. That's like completely countercultural, and it's like not realistic. Just like your relationship with the Lord, you're not gonna be able to just trust God automatically. You like love him first, and then trust comes with that, and the relationship grows with that. And that same concept is very true with your own relationship. Like, I loved Emmanuel, and then my trust grew from him. And a cool thing about our relationship was that we had that almost the key of like knowing each other as a friend, seeing how he was in different situations with different people, and even other girls in relationships. And he got to see me with other guys that I had dated for little moments or whatever. But like in that, we got to see each other in a way that wasn't trying to win each other over.
Yeah.
So like I was able to build trust with him prior to our relationship because I knew him so well as a friend. And now in a relationship, I still have to work on that trust, and he still has to work on that trust with me. But overall, like, we have been able to love each other, grow in a relationship, and grow in trust. So yes, you can love someone and not trust them.
Society will tell you that you have to be in a relationship by this age, or you have to have these things done by this age. So I think people get they feel rushed, or they feel pressured to step into these relationships that might not be the best, but hey, at least I'm in one, or at least it looks like I'm trying to have a great godly relationship. So we like to jump, and we like to pick the things that come through instead of having patience to allow God to work through us in our singlehood and in our single seasons, and allow him to mold us and shape us into the person that he needs somebody else to have, and he would like them to be in a relationship with. So I think you'd have to continue to remind yourself that, hey, get back to the basics. I have to work on me, continue to work on me, and understand that God is working within and with me constantly. So continue to, it takes faith to sit around. I don't want to say sit around. It takes faith to have trust and slow yourself down and understand what he wants you to have in his perfect will, because it's his perfect will. And also in Jeremiah 29:11 it says, for the plans that he has for me. So that takes patience. To what if he says hold on, and what if he's telling you to wait? I can't say that I've waited before. I can't say that I've not rushed things, but also I found myself in situations that I know that God didn't intend me to be in, and I found myself in situations that I really didn't want to be in from the get-go. But because I let society and I let those around me dictate where I think I should be, or where they told me to go, I ended up in a lot of places that I never want to be again.
Yeah. So one thing that I always tell people, I don't remember what podcast I heard it on, but it just changed my view of singleness and dating completely. And it is this: God made food for you to eat when you're hungry. He made drinks and water for whenever you are thirsty. He made relationship for a certain craving that you have that can only be fulfilled by a certain person or relationship. And so if you're starving to death, you're not gonna be like sitting here drinking water and be completely fully satisfied with that. It might sustain you, but like there's still going to be that hunger within you. And so like the same with relationships, it's okay to desire a relationship because maybe you're called to have a relationship and you should rejoice for that. But at the same time, know that you also have to check your heart consistently to say, like, am I starving right now, or am I desiring? Because you can desire something, or you could be starving for something. When you're starving for something, you're just gonna look like you're over here thirsty. I'm sorry, but that can happen. And I've been there, he's been there, like people have been there. But like, I'm just being honest, like, you don't want to look thirsty just because you have a natural thirst for something. And so you might want to question your thirst and be like, yo, why am I this thirsty? Is it something in me that I need to work on? Or is it just that natural desire to be in a relationship? Because those are two different things. I hope that makes sense. That he
Dude, broke up with me on camera, bro. Bro.
Listen.
Bro.
Okay, but do I think that he is an amazing man?
I didn't even.
No, I'm serious. We have been through so many seasons together, and yeah, I love this dude, so. All right, well, we will see y'all later, and bye.